think it's a give and take, it's a give and take all the time. And just being aware of each other's emotional state and what they're going through. And I think that all comes back to being honest with each other and sharing and being truthful and having that trust built into our marriage.
Welcome to the Ministry Wives and Women podcast. This is a place where we openly address the challenging realities of ministry and point one another to Jesus and the gospel. Whether you're thriving, barely holding on, or somewhere in between, you are not alone. I'm Andrea Griffith, and each episode brings honest conversations, biblical encouragement, and stories from women who understand this calling. This podcast is part of the Church Hub, where we're committed to strengthening ministry leaders and the families who walk with them. We're so glad you're here. I have my good friend and colleague, Hollie Mendenhall, here with me today. Hollie and I have served together on women's ministry. Her husband, Matt, has been our executive pastor. And I don't think we mentioned this last time, but we're actually planting a church together again.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We asked for that.
Yes, yes. In St. Augustine, Florida. And honestly, Hollie and Matt have lifted our hands over and over again through this season. We're still in the core group phase, and Hollie and Matt have done so much. Tell them a little bit about what you've done, even just for this church plant.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I got the website up and running. That was super fun. We have started the database. If you can't tell from what I'm saying, I'm kind of the behind the scenes person.
Yes.
But honestly, the best thing that we've done is just be friends with y'all.
Yes.
That's been the best part of this whole thing, is just to
Yes.
come alongside you guys and be friends and do this together in prayer and all the things that come along with church planting.
Yeah, and we've needed that. We've needed friends and advocates, and we've needed fun at a water park together.
Man, that was so much fun.
Yes, yep. It's our annual trip for sure. So even as you've just started talking now, we're hearing again all of your gifts and expertise and all the many things that you do. So I'd love to talk to you in this podcast, if it's okay, a little bit more about how do we care for our souls so we don't end up crying in the church like we talked about last time, sitting in the service just bawling because we can't pull it together. So I've heard some people have even a problem with the word self-care. I think that's maybe because we can go too far in one direction. But you know what? The ditch is on both sides.
That's right.
We can go too far in just making it all about ourselves and us being the center. And we can fall in the ditch of never caring for ourselves or our souls.
Yes.
So I'd love to ask you the question. I'd like to just stay, I don't want to fall in the ditch on either side. Right. I don't want to get obsessed about myself, but I don't want to neglect myself to the point where I've got nothing. I'm hurting. I'm a mess. So for you, Hollie, even in all that you do and have done in ministry, what does sustainable self-care look like given all your various responsibilities and roles?
Sure. I think that for me, early on, it was admitting that I can't do it all myself and that I can't be anyone else. I cannot live up to anyone's expectations on who I should be as a pastor's wife. Yeah. I have to be me. Yeah. And honestly, it's draining trying to be someone else.
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
And here's the thing. God made me who I am. Yeah. He gave me the gifts and talents. He gave me this personality, you know, and yes, we're all still a work in progress and all trying to be more like him, but I'm me, you know? And so self-care is trying to not be like anyone but me and not thinking that I have to be anyone but me.
That's so good.
So that's where it really starts for me, is just, letting myself be me. But with that also, just having a supportive spouse has been helpful with that. He actually reminds me to self-care. he can see when I'm getting depleted.
Yes, I get that. Trent knows when I'm off.
Yes. Yes, when I'm cooking dinner and he says one thing and you know, maybe you need to take some time for you. Because that's not my normal response, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, he reminds me, hey, have you gone and had coffee with someone lately?
Yes, yeah.
You know, have you done that? He's good at checking in on me for that. And, you know, self-care has gotten a bad rap, like you said, but I've been in the other ditch.
Yes.
You know, and I don't want to be in that ditch again.
No.
So it's very important to recognize the signs of the depletion.
Yeah, I think so. And how you first started off, just saying, I have to be me. Mm-hmm. It made me think of Psalm 139, that God knit us together. He formed our inward parts, our personalities, our giftings, our bents. He created us to be who we are for a reason.
That's right.
And if I'm trying to be someone else, we're missing out on who God created me to be.
And the good works he created us for.
Yes, that he's planned before eternity, that we should walk in them to glorify him. So just going before the Lord and saying, thank you for who you made me to be. How do you want me to live this out? Yeah. And then I think what you just said about recognizing the signs, recognizing when we're off and when we need a break. One of the things you mentioned is what works for me too. I've learned about myself, I need time with friends. Yeah. So literally I have on my calendar, and I'll schedule lunch or coffee, and I can't let myself go more than like 2 weeks without time with a friend.
Right.
Like just learning that rhythm for myself.
That's so good, Andrea.
I need it.
Yeah.
I see myself get off.
Yes.
I think some other things, just taking a walk. My daughter is a nurse, and so I'm always listening to different things on things that help you physically. And taking a walk resets you mentally and emotionally. And so even just getting out of the house and taking a 20-minute walk, if you're off, can reset you. And for years, we lived up in Granger, Indiana, where you were with us, where we got 80 inches of snow. And
yes, it was very gray.
Yes.
Very cold.
Very cold. But there was a sports center that had a place where you could walk around.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, I would love to just go outside and take a walk right now. I know I need it, but I can't. So what am I going to proactively do to get myself the self-care that I need?
That's right. Hey, and exercise is a great thing. It makes me think of that funny quote from Legally Blonde. Endorphins make you happy. So she couldn't have murdered her husband. You know that movie.
Endorphins do make you happy.
That's those are God-given, right? So
he's helping us self-regulate with exercise. That was actually another thing on my list of self-care is I do an exercise video in the morning, and I guard that time.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I guard my time with Jesus in the morning. I guard my time to exercise, and I plan things after those two things have happened.
Yes.
And maybe the exercise doesn't happen every day, but I know I need it at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So what am I going to have to say no to in order to get that in?
Right. Because you can tell when you miss it.
You can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell. You need those endorphins. Yeah. And I think another thing is just fun with good friends.
Oh, my goodness. My husband and I are all about the fun.
Yes.
You know, I think it's something, honestly, that the military bred into us.
Really?
Yes. Military is very good at having work hard, play hard.
Okay.
And quarterly, they would have family recreation days where everybody got the day off.
Okay.
And you were meant to go be with your family.
Okay.
And so it was modeled to us through the military. But also, I think that's just the way that the Lord had made us both.
Yeah.
You know, we like to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's the way that we can just relax together and pour into our marriage, and we try to do something. We try to go on dates, as much as we can. Of course, we're empty nesters now, so my husband thinks that when we go to the grocery store, it's a date. But
I do too. Yeah. Walmart is our favorite date. I hate that that's true, but that is reality. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But you gotta plan fun in, You do. You gotta plan it in.
So I don't know if you remember this, but one of the things that I personally did for fun at our church, one of my daughters was in cosmetology school. And in cosmetology, they were given these heads.
Oh, my goodness.
They were given these heads, and she had to learn to fix their hair. And when she was finished with them, I just thought it might be fun if I hid that head somewhere in our church.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
I do remember this.
And I remember one night I had hidden it somewhere in the church. I don't even remember. I would have my kids go hide it because I wanted my kids to think of church as a fun place to be.
Yes.
So whether we hid the head in the freezer
or in the washing machine.
Yes. Wherever we hid the head, I wanted my kids to really have fun being at church and doing different things. And I remember one day I woke up and there was a post on Facebook from our janitor. He had taken a picture of the head. It was found in the Lost and Found. And he had been vacuuming to clean up.
Oh, no.
Late at night, in the dark. And he's like, why? But I think you had more fun with the head than I did.
Well, actually, my husband got scared with the head several times. Here's the thing about church staffs. We go through a lot together.
Yes,
and a lot
do.
of it is very serious, very
Yes.
life or death.
Yes.
Eternity is at stake.
You are literally doing funerals.
Yes.
You are counseling deep, heavy
things.
Marital issues. You're walking parents through children that have died.
Yes.
You're walking parents through children that have walked away from the Lord. It's very heavy.
Very, very heavy. And I think one thing that Matt and I like to do is bring fun to the staff.
Yes.
And so my husband's very good at letting himself be the brunt of the joke. And so everybody just had a wonderful time teasing him. And so the head, he was with your husband somewhere, gone for several hours. And so they decided that they were going to fill his car with styrofoam peanuts and hid the head in the middle of the styrofoam peanuts. And so when he opened the door to go home, all the peanuts and the head fell out. So everybody got a good laugh at his expense. But, you've got to, that's part of self-care too. Even as a staff, just having those times together that you can laugh.
Yes.
And just have fun with one another.
Yeah. Laughing is a great tension release.
Yes.
Yeah. And a healthy tension release.
Yes, it is.
Because we've all got the tension being on staff, being in ministry. How are we going to release it?
Right.
Laughter is a great way to release that tension. I know one of the things that I think you helped with is we would have a staff day. And we'd bring in men in our church to grill just hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yep.
And then we set up fun things for the kids. It was cheap. Like we would just put tarps down and wet them and put soap from the kitchen soap, and the kids would slide down the tarps behind.
Good old fun.
Yeah, and we just did it at the church.
Yeah.
Just how can we create fun as a way to bond each other together as a church staff, and as a way just to release some of the pressure that you're continually under and caring for the sheep, which God asks us to do in caring for the sheep. So how do you protect your energy when you're dealing with workplace stress? So you work outside the home, you have a job, so you've already got that stress on you. But then you come home and you're hearing about struggling church members from your husband or an elder meeting that went poorly. Like, how do you, it creates an energy.
Yeah, it does. And my husband is an oversharer.
Okay.
So he shares everything with me, unless someone has specifically asked him not to.
Yeah.
But, I am his helper.
Yeah.
And he's an out loud processor. And so sometimes he needs to talk out loud. And, God did build him differently than he built me. And he can handle a lot more than I can. And so sometimes, I had to say, I don't know if I can hear that right now. I want to be there for you and I want to support you, but I've had a stressful day at work and this might push me over the edge.
Yeah.
And so he hearing that and acknowledging that knows that if I'm saying it, I mean it.
Yeah.
And so he knows, okay, I can't bring this to her right now.
Yeah.
Maybe later, maybe not at all, but it's a way that I protect, my energy. But I will also say a little different with being in the military. And, he was a chaplain and he had to make a lot of those, knocks on the door that your son or daughter's not going to come home.
Right.
And that was really, really hard.
I can't even imagine.
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
And, so when he would come home with that, I know that he needs some of the energy that I bring, and so I can't be completely depleted from work. I've got to be able to be there for him in those moments as well.
Good. Yeah.
And so I think it's a give and take, it's a give and take all the time. And just being aware of each other's emotional state and what they're going through. And I think that all comes back to being honest with each other and sharing and being truthful and having that trust built into our marriage.
Yeah. So many good things that you just said. I think it's one of the things I just heard you say, and it's been true for us, ministry life is not a balance. It's a blend.
Yes.
And it all gets mixed up in there. Mm-hmm. And so making sure I'm healthy in other ways so that when my husband needs me, I'm able to be there and vice versa.
Right.
He does that same thing for me. But also having that balance of, is this a good time to share? Can I share? I know Trent and I have really struggled with that. There's been times that he would tell me everything and I'm crushed under the weight of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's too much.
Right.
But then there's been other times he's trying to protect me and trying to shield me and he hasn't told me, and then we're isolated.
Yeah.
We're not doing the one flesh thing.
Right.
Because he's under this burden and I have no clue.
Right.
I remember one time a couple had left our church and they were in the core. I mean, they helped us do everything. They counseled couples. They led things. They were just amazing, strong believers, and they'd been believers a long time, and we really had put weight on them. And they got upset about something that we weren't doing. And Trent had talked to the elders about it, and we just decided at this time, we're not going to do that. Maybe down the road, yes, we'll need to, but at this time, we're not going to do it. Well, in their spirits, they just said, I can't stay if the church doesn't do this thing that we feel strongly about. And so they left. Well, I didn't know. He had not shared any of that with me. And at the time, we were having 4 services on Sunday morning. So this wasn't typically my practice. Typically, I was at church for all 4, whether I was on the front row or whether I was serving in kids, but I was typically there for all 4. But for whatever reason, this Sunday, I left after the 3rd one, and that 4th Sunday, I went to Costco. So I left the church and I went to Costco, and I'm checking out and I look up and they're sitting there eating pizza, Costco pizza. And it made me realize I didn't see them at church today. Well, I have no clue what's going on.
Oh, no.
And so I just go up to them and I'm like, hi, how are you guys? I don't think I saw you at church today. But it ended up being this beautiful thing because I wasn't offended because I didn't know.
Right.
And so I was just able to love and welcome. And it was a little awkward for them. I watched them hem-haw around. And so when Trent got home from church that day after the fourth service, I was like, what's up?
Right, right.
But at that time, it protected me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I was able just to freely love and walk in because I didn't know. But then there's been other times that I wish I had known.
Yeah.
Because I've stepped into something where a heads up would have been nice.
Right.
So I feel like that is just very difficult to navigate.
It is. It is.
What do I invite from my husband? Mm-hmm. What does he invite from me? How much do we share on top of each other when he's got hurts and hard things, but I also have those? I feel like that's a very difficult thing to navigate. Mm-hmm. And I think it comes down to individual pastors and wives.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think it comes back to there's not always a cut and dry right answer.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into how do we support each other well in this situation and help that energy.
That's right.
But I loved what you said, being able to say back to Matt, I can't go there right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And him respecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at other times, knowing you need to.
Yeah.
So when you know that you need to, and maybe you do feel a little depleted, what do? Where's your resilience come from in that?
Well, always from the Lord.
Yeah.
Always from the Lord. I need his grace and mercy every day to get through every day. And he knows what I'm going to face that day before I do.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, he knows.
He knows what we need before we ask him.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And so in my prayers, that's really what I ask. Lord, you've seen this day before it's happened. You know what I'm going to face. God, give me what I need to face it. Yeah. And give me the wisdom and discernment to make the decisions I need to make and go before me in all things. Yeah. You know, and that's what I do, really. I rely so much on prayer, Andrea. Yeah. I mean, it is my I have to be anchored to God. Yes. I have to be anchored to him every day. Yeah. You know.
He is the strength.
That's right.
He is the God of all endurance. He is the God of all hope. And so to be abiding in him, anchored in him every moment of every day is the only way we can continue to step into the hard. That's right. Especially when we don't want to.
That's right. Because, hey, we've all been there when we say, do I really want to keep doing this?
Yes. And many times the answer is, no, I don't. I don't want to step in.
Not I, but him, right?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so important, and learning to have the balance, and not only the balance, but just the blend. Yes. And there are times that Trent and I have to say to each other, and I think you and Matt probably do. I actually have seen you and Matt do this, where we just have to look at each other and we say to each other, we're shutting it down. Yeah. Yeah. We're done.
We're done. Mm-hmm.
That door is closed for today. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about church anymore. Yeah. We're not talking about kids anymore. Whatever it is, we're done. Yeah. We're shutting that down. Yeah. And so I think just to be able to say that to each other, you know, one of the things that I started practicing later, and I wish I'd done it sooner, is from the time my kids got home from school at 3 until after dinner, till after I'd cleaned up the dishes and they were either studying or, you know, they were occupied somewhere, I put my phone away.
That's good.
And so my phone was put away from 3 to, 7 at night.
That's why those texts didn't go answered.
That was when you were there. Just to say, I have to have these hours of shutting it down, being with my kids, being focused on my husband, and not answering every text that's coming through from the church.
Yeah, that's good. You know, my husband says in all his wisdom, because this will apply to working moms too, the real work begins at 5 p.m.
Yes.
When you get home.
Yeah.
That's when the real work is.
Yeah. And how am I saving my energy for that part
You don't
of the
want them
day?
to get your leftovers.
Right.
How
am I saving my energy for that part?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is just giving back to, putting back on the Lord what's not mine to own anyway.
That's right.
I can't solve the marriage crisis. I can't fix anything, but I know someone who can. So how can I grab a hold of my people and grab a hold of him and pull together and leave it with them? I like to remind myself a lot, he loves these people that I'm trying to minister to. He loves them more than I do.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, this may be a little corny or whatever, but when Matt would bring home a situation that just seemed like, I don't know how we're going to break through. I don't know how this is going to happen.
Yeah.
We just worship.
Yeah.
Just turn on some music and worship.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of times the Lord will give you that peace. He'll give you that discernment. He'll give you that what you need in the middle of the worship, And it makes me think of one of my favorite Bible stories is, Paul in prison, and worshiping and the chains breaking off, not just him, but those around him.
That's so
right?
good. That's so
and
good.
so our worship breaks chains, you know?
Yes.
So
ours and others.
And others.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much, Hollie, for being with me. I've heard
Absolutely.
a lot of wisdom from you going back to knowing who we are. Psalm 139, God created us to be who we are. Knowing what our priorities are. God has listed them for us in the scripture. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength.
Yes.
And then we love others as ourselves. But what does that look like when I'm in ministry and I also have a full-time job, or I'm on the church staff and I've got kids at home? Going back to those priorities and then learning boundaries, like boundaries as a way of loving.
Yeah.
Loving myself, loving my husband, loving my kids, and ultimately loving those God's called me to minister to. And then what does that look like? It looks like worshiping. It looks like knowing when I'm done and my husband's done. It looks like unceasing prayer because I can't do this without him. And I've watched you live that. And so thank you for coming in and just being willing to share with us.
Thank you for having me.
We've really appreciated having you on the Church Hub.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about the Church Hub and how we're strengthening ministry leaders and the families who walk with them, you can visit thechurchhub.org. Until we meet again, I'll be praying that you experience the nearness of Jesus.